process began on August 8th of 2017 when the department came to the commission with a presentation on requesting to hold community meetings to begin the process to develop a proposed order or guidelines that relevant to the use of unmanned aerial systems. That process began, the department held community meetings. Coming before you today will be the department with their report, which is the proposed guidelines, which means that the guidelines are just that, they are proposed, no program has been implemented. The action before you today requested is to review the guidelines. If you accept the guidelines as is, they would be posted on the department website for 2 weeks to allow communication from the public. The meeting 2 weeks hence from today would come back to you for final approval, again with public comment at that point in time. And any modifications to the proposed guidelines before you today could be made at that time. Also today, if the commission chose to make some changes to proposed guidelines today, you could do that also, and then they would be posted on the website for public input. So again, today your action is to not adopt a policy, it is to accept the proposed guidelines or to modify them, and then direct the department to post them for 2 weeks of public comment.
I'll reject them too.
Bring it back to the commission for your final action.
Okay, thank you. The subcommittee on this issue was created and has been run by Commissioners Goldsmith and Commissioner Johnson. I would like to turn this portion of the agenda over to Commissioner Goldsmith for your comments.
Well, I think Commissioner Goldsmith has some opening remarks, but then maybe we have the department actually present
Yes.
the policy, and then the commissioners can ask questions and open up the public comment.
Okay.
You want to have the department?
This is clearly an issue that has sparked debate in the community and demand for careful consideration. I have heard these concerns personally and in depth at the community meeting I attended and at these commission meetings. Some people are afraid these devices will infringe on our privacy, that they will eventually be weaponized. People fear a slippery slope toward mission creep. I take these concerns seriously. Our challenge is to create a policy that strikes a balance, that promotes public safety, the safety of our officers, and does not infringe on individual privacy rights. The best way to do that is through a strong policy that creates maximum transparency, accountability, and oversight. I believe this proposed policy does that. Number one is the 1-year pilot that will be thoroughly evaluated. 2, it has strict and narrow limitations on deployment for the sole purposes of resolving dangerous, high-risk tactical situations and improving situational awareness during natural disasters and catastrophic incidents. 3, it has strong checks and balances, including commander-level approval, search warrant requirements, and frequent reporting to our subcommittee and a report to the full board and the public. And finally, no weapons capabilities whatsoever. I want to thank the department and especially Chief Kamala for working closely with us to create this policy, for doing community outreach, which may not have been perfect, but helped us to understand community concerns and craft a policy that is responsive to those concerns, and for holding the department to the highest standard of transparency and accountability while keeping our communities and our officers safe. I'm eager to hear additional public input on the draft policy today and over the next 2 weeks before we make a final decision. Thank you.
Decision's been made.
Thank you so much.
You're so full of
Good
shit.
morning, Commissioners, Chief Beck, Mr. T. Thank Mr. City. I thank you for the opportunity for me to return here and do a